Hello Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Welcome to your tarot reading here at the Intuitive Teacup. I'm happy to have you all out there. Please come into this tarot reading with an open heart and an open mind, a desire to maybe learn something or better yourself, better your situation. Please do trust your own intuition above all else, and that it will separate the messages that are meant for you and those that are not, because you are ultimately accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. So again, please do trust your own intuition. Things that come through in this reading may resonate for you at a later time or date though, so again, be open to that. You may want to check back on this video later on. All right, let's go ahead and set the intention now to get my Pisces gang out there some clear, helpful, and insightful messages for wherever they are currently at on their spiritual path. All right, we're going to start with Oracle cards, Pisces. Oh, I like this one. This one hasn't come up yet. The Eternal Center, Guru, Protection, and Peace. There is a place within me that is still, calm, steady, and eternal. So connection to spirituality is huge there. It's funny, when that flipped over, it almost looked like a little ghost, like your kind of like your traditional Halloween, like ghost in a white sheet. So I wonder if some of you are, I don't know if that's symbolic to you. It could be like the logo of something or something you have in your room. I know Pisces typically are kind of into like the spooky, macabre, Scorpio Halloween type stuff, typically because it's a sign that you guys have, usually good compatibility with. But yeah, something about like kind of a cute, adorable ghost. Like it's coming to me as something cute. Although maybe some of you are reading up on like, ghosts or the paranormal or something like that. Your second Oracle card, card 12, that makes me think of a hangman. And 25, the Chariot, maybe, with the 7. Let's see. If you're in need of a lesson, there is wisdom in the trees, the spirit of the tree, nature, priestess, and inner peace. So finding solutions in nature, going out into nature and not necessarily needing to force an answer, a solution to come, just being open to receiving those downloads. It comes to you by the tree, quite literally. So for your money or career card, you have faith. The situation needs your full trust. There is a divine reason behind this experience. Your spirit guides are leading you in the right direction. That salt lamp is very Himalayan salt. It's really popping in that picture. So yeah, I don't know. Some of you that might be significant. Something about purification in the lungs too, or allergies or something with inhalers, or some issue with the lungs is coming through. And symbolically, it's like needing to get your body in alignment, needing to get your body back to health first before you're able to pursue something full on career wise. Like you may actually being forced to step back or take a bit of a break or a rest or a reprise, is that the right word? It's almost like a necessary delay with the Hanged Man card, where don't view it as a punishment or a delay. It's actually a blessing in disguise in regards to the speed or the timeline of things, because there's something you need to focus on healing in your body first. So then for your gemstone whispered oracle, you have aragonite, which is about change. Be the change that you wish to see in the world. And then last but not least, this is the Fearless Fight Like a Girl deck. I thought that would be appropriate for Aries season, where we're fighting for who and what we love. You have the very first card. So that is, I hope I'm saying this right, the Creatrix Fight. We're going to read about that. All right. You are a creatrix, crafted in the Great Spirit's image. To create in any form, writing, dancing, design, singing, weaving, etc., is a natural and divine act. Do not hesitate. Create now. What is inside of you is meant to come out. Whether you create from a wellspring of joy or alchemize your pain and grief into art, your creativity is essential to a fearless life. Go out and take a risk. Let stories happen to you, then write them, sculpt, paint, and make music from them. Don't waste your breath with words like I'm not creative or I don't know what to make. Live life fully. Feel all the things. Your ache, your joy, and your wild ambition will come pouring out of you onto life's canvas. Don't judge or prohibit what comes out and how, just make it. I love that. I love that for you guys. Pisces are typically super creative people too. Year of the Dragon, some of you that's going to be significant or important, and off the top of my head I can't tell you what dates those are. You're going to have to look it up. I know 88 is one of them because I was Year of the Dragon, but something about the dragon sculpture or the Year of the Dragon that's coming out for some of you. So yeah, give it a Google search. See who you know that was born Year of the Dragon, or I don't know, maybe that's your kid, maybe that's your best friend or your future lover, who knows. All right, let's refocus our energy and talk to the tarot. What does the tarot want to tell us for Pisces? What's coming in the next couple weeks for Pisces? What's something they might encounter or experience? Hesitation. Someone's stuck in their head here. The Eight of Swords is indicating a liberation from one's own mental prison. Where do your own thoughts hold you back? What narrative are you replaying? What thoughts are you believing are true? Where maybe they're not even yours. Maybe it was something that was, projected on you, or it was something that you were taught that turns out to not apply to you in your scenario. The Nine of Pentacles is starting to come out or come up from the ethers. It's something about like lungs and feeling like you're not able to, I don't know if it's not able to breathe, but it could literally be like allergies or feeling like you're allergic to something. Being around water and submerging in water is going to be very helpful and soothing to you. I mean, of course you are a water sign, but particularly right now, it's almost like you're being squared by Gemini stuff, because Gemini rules the lungs, right? And by nature, that's a sign that squares you in astrology. So yeah, something to do with the lungs or even the arms or the hands. I don't know, something about like a rash or something that you may need to go to the doctor and just have it looked at or have it checked out, because your mind may be running in circles worrying about what it is. It's like you just need the right healing remedy. You just need the right, or to be led down the right path to sort of get yourself out of a place of fear. Very interesting Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, it's almost like the Nine of Pentacles is about knowing your value and worth and being very self-sufficient and confident. And here it's like you're hiding. You're not necessarily feeling the most confident, but there's something you want to approach. Like you're almost you're very fixated on it. It's something you've been thinking about for a long time. You may even have dreams about this situation or this person. It's something that you're wanting to go after or go towards, but yeah, you're a little bit shy and a little bit scared too. Which is funny, because it's almost like this message is saying like, you have all the reasons in the world to be confident. Like you offer so much to this potential employer. You offer so much. You bring so much to the table in terms of like a potential dating prospect. Like, why are you being shy? Why do you think you're not good enough? Or why are you hesitating? Or like you're gun shy to go after this? What's the deal with that? Because it means so much to you. It's the Nine of Cups. It's also possibly that if this is a romantic situation, you may have eyes for someone, but you bear witness to the fact that they are very emotionally satisfied in their independence, or they're emotionally independent, really, with the Nine of Cups. They don't rely on other people to make them happy. So they're out there living their best life and they're very joyful. And I don't know if that is intimidating, but for some of you, it's almost like you really admire that and you respect that and you look up to it. So maybe you're worried that like your own sort of emotional landscape is not going to jive with theirs. It's almost like you feel sort of, and this isn't everyone's message, but I sort of get it though. Like some of you, it's like, I'm not always the happy, bright, the world is my oyster person. Sometimes I do, you're a water sign. Water always finds its way down, right? So, water signs especially can be prone to like depression and stuff like that. And so that may be you, and yet you're actually allowing that to hold you back from reaching out and connecting with someone that you really like and admire. And part of it is very like sacrificial, but it's also kind of like martyr syndrome too, or maybe that's not the right word, but I get it, because you're wanting to come from a very good, pure, healthy place and not get involved with someone and make their baggage your baggage, or vice versa. Really, it's like you're wanting to come in with a clean slate and be perfect for them. But I think the universe wants you to know, like, you're perfect as you are. Every single person out there is a work in progress. So maybe this person presents as having it all together and, quote unquote perfect, but they have stuff they deal with too. They just choose not to make that, their main focus. It's always going on and behind the background and behind the scene. But yeah, some of you, it's like you're intimidated to get involved with this person because it's almost like you don't want to scare them off. You have a lot of nines. So nines are reaching the end of a cycle. The Nine of Swords. Yeah, a lot of you, this does feel like your anxiety and your depression sometimes gets the better of you some days, as it does everybody. And here's the thing with that. It's like, I'm not here to guilt you or shame you or judge you. I think it's badass that you're showing up to this tarot reading and trying to improve yourself, right? That's what this is about. It's all about self-approval, yes, but self-empowerment, really. And acknowledging the things going on within us. And it's about trying to better ourselves, but also not needing to show up as perfect, giving ourselves a free pass to show up trying. It's okay to try, and sometimes we succeed and sometimes we fail. But every time we fail, it's like we know more this time. So then we can go at it again and we'll gain a little bit more traction. We'll gain a little bit more momentum. And I do think this has to do with like your own fear. I also think there might be fear of rejection because of past relationships, maybe people who didn't treat you right, or maybe you had an ex like up and leave you unexpectedly and it really took a toll on you like psychologically. So some of you may be very hesitant to get involved with someone because you don't want to risk losing them, but it's like you push pause before it can even start. There's a lot of heavy energy here too, but the Nine of Pentacles is saying like the universe sees you as quite a catch. And I think on your better days, you see yourself as that too. Like on your better days, you're like, you know what, maybe I will go out and do this thing, or maybe, I will connect with this person or ask them out or be friends or whatever. Maybe it's a job opportunity, right? And whatever it is, I can tell it means a lot to you, Nine of Cups. But I also think it intimidates you because whether this is a person or a circumstance or an opportunity, you know that this person doesn't need you. And maybe you're used to being that person in people's life because it gives you some sort of safety and security and like emotional peace knowing that you're needed. And I think that's the biggest challenge for you to wrap your head around here is that you're right, this person doesn't need you, but it doesn't mean that you aren't going to offer them a lot of really wonderful experiences. And like what I'm trying to say is like, why not? Like, why not? You don't know what this connection is going to be, but you're already sort of self-sabotaging or stopping yourself, a few steps in because you're like, oh, it could never be. Like this person would never want me, or they seem happier on their own. So like, I'm not going to, it's very like self-deprecating too. Like, oh, I'm not going to bother them with my problems. It's a very unusual energy, Pisces. I'm not sure everyone will relate to this message, but I feel like it's showing up in your reading for a purpose. Again, for you to be self-aware, but really the Eight of Swords is the first card that came out. And what I always ask is like, where do you hold yourself back? And yes, things have been done to you and things have been done to me, and everybody's been the victim in some capacity in their life. But ultimately, like, we can choose to remain there and relive past narratives, or we can liberate ourselves from that. And sort of the key to that is doing things differently. If you were in a situation and, you wanted to see the best in people and you ignored the red flags, then okay, maybe we're not going to do that this time. But I don't know if this person is presenting as the Nine of Cups or this opportunity. Right now, it looks really lovely. It could be someone who's a musician of some kind. Someone who maybe has long hair or curly hair or something very significant, so like sexy hair. I don't know, something about their hair is really intriguing and mysterious to you. Or I don't know why, I just heard like an important storyline about the hair. I don't know if that's a conversation you guys had about, I don't know, dyeing their hair or this or that. The Six of Swords, yeah, this person loves to have fun. They love, not in a negative way, not in a romantic, like, bad way, but they love playing games. Like, they love playing games. They're young at heart. I think you guys would have a lot of fun adventures together. Maybe this is someone who is not necessarily seeking out partnership right now, but I can tell you they certainly are welcoming new people and friends into their life. And like, this almost feels like you desperately want to join in on the fun, but you're a little too afraid or you're a little too shy. Hop in, the water's fine. So what is the best advice or guidance I can give for Pisces here? The Five of Swords. Yeah, the Five of Swords is typically looking at all the things that have gone wrong, but not being able to move on because we're still sort of caught up in the past. I think this is sort of saying you need to soothe yourself or heal your own wounds before you're actually ready to accept things. It's not that the opportunity isn't there or that you can't try, but you seem to be the one holding yourself back. There's no one telling you can't go after this. You seem really, I almost use the word envious. You seem really envious. I don't know if that's a good word for it, or it's not a negative thing though. It's not like jealousy. It's like you want to be like this person. You really, you view them in very high regard. But it's almost like you're already anticipating them rejecting you before you even introduce yourself and say hi. Social insecurities is coming through a lot. Being teased or bullied as a child, being teased on the playground, or having like really tumultuous relationships maybe with siblings or cousins where, yeah, it's like you were always like the last one. You were always like pushed to the back of the line. And so you almost learned your place to let everybody else go before you. And so in some ways, I'm almost viewing this as like, you're almost assuming that this person you're assuming this person has other romantic prospects, and you're like, all right, well, I guess I'll let them be happy with those people because, you know, I don't know, it is a little bit sad sack energy, but I feel bad for you because I feel the heaviness, but it's like you're not even letting yourself like take a shot. I don't know what to do to empower you. Your cards seem very stuck. Your cards seem very having a lot of hesitancy and still sort of replaying traumatic stories involving grief in your own life. The Five of Swords, though, it is a Venus card, so there is a need to connect with this card, but it's possible that maybe in the past you've dated people or tried to be friends with people where there's almost like a Venus and Aquarius vibe where it's like, I need to love you but at a distance, or I need to love you but in my own way where there's healthier boundaries where I don't feel suffocated. You know, Venus doesn't always know what to do with itself in Aquarius, right? And I'm not saying it's a negative placement by any means, but yeah, Aquarius is like a Saturn-ruled sign, so Saturn likes boundaries, and it doesn't really like touchy-feely emotional stuff. That's not Saturn's strong suit. So when we put a planet like Venus there, which is all about connection and partnership and romance and dating and teamwork, sometimes it takes a minute to find its footing. And I think sometimes you've misinterpreted situations in the past of, oh, I'm unlovable, nobody wants to be with me, when you may naturally be attracted to people who maybe have a strong Saturn placement because you like their, I don't know, their seriousness or their responsibility or their career mindset, you know, whatever it is, that Saturn thing. Or maybe you're just attracted to, you know, the physical features or the qualities of those people. But I think you misinterpreted their almost lack of awareness or inability to know how they need to be loved or how to communicate the ways in which they want to be loved, how to communicate their love language. They just up and left or up and quit because they didn't know how to deal with it. And you took that on as your burden of like, why wasn't I enough? When really like it had nothing to do with you. You were actually sort of a catalyst for them to start being more introspective about like, why don't I let people in? And why do I keep people at arm's length? And ironically, that's sort of what you're doing in this new connection with someone who doesn't necessarily come off to me as a strong Saturn energy. This seems kind of like, I don't know, this almost seems like Leo energy, like youthful, fun, bright, excitable. You know, there could be some water in there. It could be an Aquarius too, don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on any of the signs by any means, but yeah, I don't know, Venus and Aquarius can sometimes be a tricky love language. Like it takes practice to learn that person's love language, and that's showing up as something in the past where maybe you had a parent who never said I love you, or maybe, you know what I mean? It's like you dealt with someone who had a very unusual love language, and it was a very painful experience for you to have to live through that because, again, it's like you chose to internalize that as I was not enough. Like, what didn't I deliver? Or how could I have done it better? When with the Knight of Pentacles coming out, not Knight, but the Nine of Pentacles, it says you're perfect just the way you are. And like, you know, the irony here is no one's perfect. There's no such thing as perfection. But if you're showing up as Nine of Pentacles, whatever this is, you have a ton to offer, Pisces, so you should go for it. The Knight of Pentacles. So yeah, I think this is you planning your approach, maybe thinking through your strategy of how you want to come into this. If this isn't related to love and romance and dating, it does seem to be like fear of applying to a job, or just it feels like wanting to be in with a social group, like wanting to join like some sort of group dynamic, but you fear rejection, or you fear being the weirdo, or you feel like they're not going to like you. And really with these cards, no offense, but it's saying that's all in your head. That's all in your head. I think you should do it. So this says, ask for help. You're being asked to request help from another. You don't need to deal with the issue alone. There are many people who want to help you, but it's up to you to bravely ask for their support. It's a sign of strength to reach out. Do that today. And then you also have expand. You're being asked to expand. You live in a huge world with endless possibilities, and staying safe in the known is no longer working for you. This is being caught in like the quote unquote safety zone, but it's a false sense of comfort. We've been here so long, we've started to believe that this is normal. But, and again, I use the word normal, happy, healthy, but it's not. Like this is not a long-term destination here. This is like something that we're meant to expand and break out of. Just putting that out there. It's time to make your world just a little bit bigger. It's time to imagine the possibilities and go for them. So with Nine of Cups, it says to me, you're viewing this as a possibility. Like Knight of Pentacles, it's like, I'm going to take the practical steps to achieve it or move towards it. All right, Pisces, that's what I got for you. Thanks for joining me today, guys. I appreciate it. I hope this was helpful to someone out there. Please show me some love and hit that like button. If you're not already, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell so you'll be alerted when I post readings in the future. And if you want more content from me, I am on Instagram and Facebook as The Intuitive Teacup. Thanks for joining me today, guys, and I will see you soon for more tarot.